PWF Empire is live. Thank you all for tuning in this Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on PWFempire.com and YouTube.com/PWF Empire. Jay here along with Steven, Evan, and Lucas. It's been a while, guys. What have you been up to?
Well, after a long month and a half, I feel like, this is new for me. I don't know. Do I know who you are, Jay? Evan, Steven, are you guys there? Like, is this really happening right now?
Yes, it is really happening. It is. You and your incorrect lower third there.
Oh, well, something is going on, so.
Anarchy, okay. So, we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. A lot of stuff has been happening in the world of WWE. We have Goldberg coming back. He's definitely going to be on Monday Night Raw. Next week, we have the fact that most of us are not even watching Monday Night Raw anymore, but I've been touching on it every now and again. We'll talk about some of those things and the goings-on over on SmackDown. The WWE World Heavyweight Champion AJ Styles being pinned by James Ellsworth. Interesting little development there. James Ellsworth. He's like he's like an A on the kayfabe tier list, right?
Basically, he's the chinless wonder, is what we mean.
Come on, guys! He beat the world champion. He beat the world champion.
SmackDown shit, it's a good thing he doesn't have a chin, because he tucked it, during the Styles Clash, and wasn't much to tuck. So I'm glad he's not injured.
Thankfully.
Okay, so where do we start off? I guess it's like a building tradition here on PWF Empire Live.
SmackDown.
The WWE World Heavyweight Championship scene or the Universal Championship scene.
The Universal? What's that?
It is a title. It exists.
Not in my world.
What world are you living in?
SmackDown.
Well, you're right. It doesn't exist in your world. It exists in your universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, these last few weeks, the Universal title, I couldn't tell you a whole lot of what's going on with that championship picture, man. I don't even know.
Okay, so apparently Lucas is going to tell us a little bit later on. So, but let's talk about the WWE World Championship first. We had our champion, AJ Styles. He was put into a very unfortunate situation on SmackDown where he had to face James Ellsworth in a match where Dean Ambrose was the special guest referee. AJ Styles lost. So I guess I'm curious to know, do you guys buy or sell this? So I guess we're switching things up tonight. You buy or sell AJ Styles losing to James Ellsworth on SmackDown?
I mean, what's wrong with it, really? It's a fun segment.
Why did you just jump to the defensive already? You don't even know what anybody else is going to say.
Because I could just feel it. And I can see some people complaining about this. I just know the zeitgeist of the
AJ Styles is buried.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone's gonna say it. You just wait. That chat, you can sit there and watch it for the next hour. Somebody's gonna say, "Well, he got buried because he lost once." Truth be told, I mean it was because of Ambrose. So
yeah,
I mean it's not like Ellsworth just hit him with a finish and beat him clean in the middle of the ring. I mean, so
he probably could have though. I believe in him.
I believe in the chinless wonder. I mean, the guy any man with two hands stands a chance, right? Isn't that what he said?
Yeah.
Big Braun.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think this affects AJ Styles at all. I mean, we've seen what his track record is over the last few months. He's beaten John Cena. He's beaten Dean Ambrose. So why not have some fun with it this past Tuesday on SmackDown? I mean, this doesn't affect him really. Like Evan just said, this was about making fun of the whole situation. Ambrose was involved. So it's not like this guy, James Ellsworth beat AJ Styles and all of a sudden it's the end of the world. No, that's not what this is about here. So to me, there's no big deal here.
There is a big deal to me, but the big deal is that it was fucking entertaining. I liked it, and I guess the reason why I can confidently say that is because I have no insecurities about who AJ Styles is in WWE. Now, you can look at a situation with Seth Rollins, for example, and this does open up the window for people to try to trip me up, but as I said before, I'll say it again, you'll never catch me slipping because I'm too hip to trip. I got my stuff going on. So, like, I've complained about the utilization of Seth Rollins when he was champion back in 2015, him getting beat by J&J Security. I guess at the very least, at least James Ellsworth had on wrestling gear, so, you know, he didn't get beat by some jamokes and suits and ties and stuff like that and church shoes. But, you know, the reason, like, there's a big difference between AJ and Seth to me, because I don't look at this as defining who AJ Styles is. This is not a pattern that, you know, this is the person that AJ Styles was going into this match, and nor will it be the person that he is going to be moving forward. It was just an isolated situation that I look at, like Daniel Bryan, he was kind of punishing AJ in a sense because they're trying to run a respectable program over there on SmackDown, and he does shady shit in the main event of No Mercy, and he says, you know what, I'm going to embarrass you. I'm going to give you this jobber as an opponent, and I'm going to have your adversary be the referee, and, you know, the fix is in. So, you know, it was really fun, and I actually enjoyed Dean Ambrose too, so all around, good stuff.
That's a story element there that is good. It's a good sign. It's building the matchup and doing it through a special guest ref situation, which embarrasses AJ Styles without burying him at all. It's not like it's a loss that, like I said, it's not like he got hit with a finisher in the middle of the ring and just lost in a straight-up match. Ambrose literally did it and cost him that match. So that's perfect. That just lays into their feud continuing on. And so, yeah, I can buy that.
And Cena's invisible again. Oh, my God.
Well, he's not invisible. He's on
total ammo to Ambrose.
What is it, Total Bellas? He's there. Bellas.
Yes.
Oh, is that where he's on now? I'm going to be the first one to watch. Oh, I'm definitely going to be the first one to watch.
No, you're the second one to watch. I'm going to be the first one.
No, damn it, Jay. I'm going to be No, we're not doing this right now. I don't care.
We could talk about Total Bellas. I'm fine with that.
No, please no.
You can count me out of that one. Bye.
Okay, well, let's talk about Monday Night Raw now, then.
Still, you can count me out of that one. Bye.
Okay, so we're doing a pre-show meeting, trying to go over the topics that we're going to be talking about on the show, and I'm going to quote Lucas verbatim. Can we talk about how stupid Seth Rollins is? So,
he is stupid.
Lucas, the floor is yours.
Well, actually, I'm going to turn the floor to Steven for a second here because I would like to shout out his tweet because he just hit the nail right on the head with Seth Rollins. You know, he tweeted something along the line of he can't differentiate between what Seth Rollins is as a heel or a babyface because he's basically the same guy just being aimed at the authority. He's just using this excuse that the authority turned on him, and he's just bitching and bitching and bitching each and every single week. He's a crybaby. And I'm supposed to get behind this guy, Seth Rollins? Count me out. He's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with continuity, and to some degree I don't have a problem with it, but if they're going for babyface Rollins, and if that's the goal, I mean, he's supposed to be the top face on Raw right now.
And he's not.
They should probably do a better job of establishing him, because I don't feel like there's much to get behind, and he's just doing the same shtick, except he's against a heel now. It really feels like a heel versus heel feud. I don't know if that's really what I want.
He's crying because mommy and daddy are no longer taking care of him. That's what this sounds like to me. I mean,
that's something to be crying about, though. I'm quite sure all of us have gone through that period of time in our life where our parents cut the apron strings and we
probably not in our late 20s, though.
Right. He's a grown man, you know. So it's
fair point.
It's like watching this guy on TV, a grown man acting this way. It's really immature.
It's very kid-like. Yes.
Yeah, I don't sympathize behind this. Like maybe if Triple H was there on a weekly basis, and it's funny because I feel like Seth Rollins right now, that's what he needs. He needs Triple H on Raw in order to tell that story and for us to be able to sympathize with him. But because he's facing Kevin Owens, there's no connection. There's no backstory here. I'm not digging this at all. There's no emotion behind watching Seth Rollins face Kevin Owens because Kevin Owens isn't the problem. His problem is with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, and yet the title is so secondary right now. Kevin Owens is so secondary right now that Seth Rollins, it makes me hate him even more because he's focusing on something that's not even there right now. You know what I mean? So it just doesn't make any sense.
And that has been a problem with the world title scenario for a while, meaning last couple of years there have been multiple feuds and multiple months and moments and times where the title comes second to another source, and that was kind of what was going on when the Authority was around anyway. Like, it felt more like the guys who were facing Seth Rollins wanted revenge on the Authority, not on Seth Rollins or getting the title so much. And I mean, I kind of think that we were getting that with Roman Reigns' crusade against Rusev. Same type of thing. It's like the title wasn't what he really was even going after. He was just going after beating up Rusev. That was pretty much it.
And embarrassing Lana for no reason at all. Like, what the hell did she do to you? Did she like turn you down or something?
So
What's
these and this has a lot to do with the logic of why championships aren't as important now as they should be, and that's where they're being devalued. It's not necessarily the amount of use that they're getting, it's the amount of attention that they're getting. They're in use, and it's like they still don't matter, you know what I mean? And we're talking about world titles here too. It's not even just mid-card championships. The U.S. title is just another example of that. It's almost like title belts are kind of, as people have called it over the last few years, props, and I think that's more relevant now than it even was a few years back. I mean, it's like, again, the feud isn't about the championship, but yet on SmackDown I'm feeling like it's different, you know?
It's legitimate.
Yeah, it's different. The Intercontinental title was on the line. Ziggler's career was on the line, but the IC title was too. You know, and you knew the belt was there. Like, it still mattered that he won the title. And the same thing goes for, like, Styles and Ambrose and Cena, that match. You know, you felt like you were watching a title match. So I think it really, and again, I don't want to sound like I'm just separating the brands, but SmackDown's championships are already better than Raw's, and a couple of them are brand new. Like, the tag titles and the women's title are completely new, and it's crazy. Like, they're doing a better job of developing champions right off the bat.
One more thing
take a look
Seth
at what's
Rollins.
going on with. What was that, Steven?
One more thing I want to say about Seth Rollins is that there's no redemption arc here at all. There's not even an attempt at one. It's just like there's no like moment of sobriety after he gets beat by Triple H to say, "Wow, I really selling my soul to the devil really didn't pay off in the end." Like there's nothing like that. There's no moment of reflection saying, well, I picked the wrong side. I chose the wrong path. I'm going to do a different one now. And he's just being Chris Jericho levels of hypocrite, which I hold to be the most ridiculous example of the heel-face problem in all of WWE. Because even when Jericho is a face, you just remember when this guy is talking about like pandering, and you're like, you're doing that shit right now. Jericho is a heel for life because of that. There's nothing to redeem him from that. And that's kind of what Seth is being. Like he's talking about Owens being a puppet, being a child. It's like this is with no awareness, no acknowledgement that this is what he did.
And it's been this way for Seth Rollins since he came back in May. And I've been telling you guys all along that he should have just come back as a babyface, because I knew now down the line if they had tried to do that later on, it was never ever going to work. And it's unfortunately right now too late for him. I mean, maybe Triple H can save him, but Triple H is not there right now. So I'm not a fan of them holding off on this until Royal Rumble time or WrestleMania time, because it's not doing anything for Seth Rollins right now. It's also hurting Kevin Owens. How can you put over Kevin Owens if Seth Rollins himself needs to be put over first? And that's been the issue with Raw for the longest time. Rollins has never gotten his redemption since, I don't know since when. Since he came back, he hasn't been the man on Monday Night Raw. Not when he faced Finn Balor, not when he faced Roman Reigns, and now he's facing Kevin Owens, and it's still not doing anything for him.
Yeah, and that one moment of redemption that he was going to have was instantly foiled by Dean Ambrose's cash-in, so you almost forget that he actually did beat Reigns for the title, but that's why you forget it, because it lasted for 30 seconds. So I think that is where it hurt him too. And again, I remember when he got hurt last November thinking right away, okay, he needs to come back as a face. The narrative was already written for WWE. They didn't even have to do
perfect.
They didn't even have to do much work here at that point. It was already written that people were sympathizing with that awful injury. It was a crazy injury that, obviously could happen to anybody anytime. So the fans already have the sympathy. It's already written in stone. He lost the championship not on his own accord. He lost it, because of that injury. So it's already written there for him to come back as a babyface. The crowd popped when he first returned. It's like, I don't understand. I really didn't get the way that he was brought back, and it really hasn't ever come back. Like, when he won the championship, I started to feel a little bit better. He's had moments. Some of his promos have been a little better. Some things were better for the first 2 or 3 months, and these last 2 or 3 months have basically undone whatever progress was made.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we talked about a little bit of the on the championships over on SmackDown. Let's put the focus on the Intercontinental Championship. They had that big title versus career match that should have main evented at No Mercy, but it didn't. We'll leave that alone for now. And let's focus on the competitors there. Dolph Ziggler, he is a new Intercontinental Champion. He came out on SmackDown and cut a promo talking about the situation that he found himself in at No Mercy. And then The Miz comes out with his ride or die chick, Maurice. They're all dressed in all black, and I'm wondering, like, what's going on here? Did I miss the memo? Is there a dress code? And not long after that, we realized what's going on. And The Miz is there to hold an impromptu memorial service for the death of the Intercontinental Championship. And there was one line that he had. I love that line where he said that Ziggler's victory was a funeral for the Intercontinental Championship's legacy. I was like, damn, look at this guy. And you want to talk
Shots
about
fired.
championships. You want to talk about championships mattering. When he said, yeah, if you thought I did any and everything to keep that title, just imagine what I'll do to get it back. Oh.
Hey, Dean Ambrose used that exact same line a while ago. You never complimented that.
That's because I didn't think much of him as champion, so why would I? There's actually an investment in The Miz, and I can actually see that being
Who
played
did
out
The
in
Miz
the storyline.
defend against? That was so great.
That was a fucking great storyline between him and Dolph Ziggler.
No, it was, but I don't see him as a particularly prestigious champion. I mean, he made it matter.
I think
The Miz did wonders for that Intercontinental Championship.
I think it's more of just how Miz has carried the title. It's not really necessarily who he's defended against, because he is hitting his stride right now. I think this is the best run of his career, better than the WWE title run. Actually,
That's not even in
conversation,
to be
I
honest.
think by a long shot. Yeah,
Of course. Is there a Miz bandwagon all of a sudden? Can somebody please inform me?
I mean, how can you not be on it? Because the guy's been excellent. You know,
He's the best thing on SmackDown.
Yeah, he's been cutting good promos. In-ring
He's the
work
best
is
thing
getting
in
better.
WWE as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, what
Best
else is
in the
there to
world.
say? He's spectacular right now. So, you know, it's keep it going while it's hot right now.
I wouldn't
I
actually
love it.
mind seeing him be the champion again.
I would
Well,
not either.
now, but I don't know about the past, but now, hell yeah.
now.
Yeah.
This is one reason, I know this is kind of off topic. This is one reason I don't really like AJ as a heel, because literally every other heel does it better than him. Just saying.
I understand what you're saying there, because I've said the same thing. Looking at AJ Styles, like his character on a week-to-week basis, it's like The Miz kills him in that department, but that character that AJ Styles has, that's what allows him to wow me every single time he steps into the ring on a big stage. So I'll put up with it there.
Because I don't think
Like,
AJ
you
Styles.
saying that
take
AJ
that
sucks
and put
as
it
a
in the-
heel, I can't rock with that. But like,
Well, okay, let me clarify that again.
on
I
a
know it's
week-to-week
off
basis,
topic.
The Miz is better.
Let me clarify. It's not that he sucks. It's not that his performance sucks. It's that it sucks that he is a heel. I mean, he does a fine job, but to me, it just amounts to a cliche, generic performance. Like
You feel like it's limiting him.
AJ Styles
play-
as a heel is the cliche generic performance.
Absolutely. Everything he does
Okay.
is just paint by numbers heel work.
How much experience do you have with AJ Styles as a face?
The WWE career.
Okay.
But I'm not sure what that has to do with anything.
Talking about cliche generic performances, wait until he turns face.
Well, see, I think
but
his heel work.
cliche faces I expect.
I mean, I think he's actually less cliche because he wins matches on his own. He's not the same. Like, I'm sorry, but to me, the cliche heel the last few years has been the Seth Rollins model. Which
Well, that is also true, but I feel like Seth does it a lot better.
Yeah, see, I don't feel
Do you
that
think
way
it's
at
because
all.
he's more hateable?
Seth sucks
Yes.
a lot better than AJ Styles.
See, yeah, I think the thing is Seth is more annoying than AJ Styles is. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Seth just looks and
Yeah, that
sounds like a
works.
dick. AJ, I just get this feeling that he's playing a role. I don't buy that he's a heel. And I don't know. Again, this is off topic. I'm sorry for bringing it up, but
But
I just-
This is a wrestling show, and we're talking about wrestling.
Yeah. Well, because I was
Nothing's off
thinking,
topic,
I
right?
want to see the Miz in the main event, but you already have AJ feeling that heel role. This is why I don't like it.
So this is
because-
a thing of like comparison. You look at like AJ Styles as taking a spot that should belong to the Miz. Or
Not
something
comparison.
Like
I just don't like redundancy, and when you have someone playing that role much better, I just don't see the need for it.
that.
I think that
understand that.
I think that everyone plays that role better than AJ because, like I said, to me it's paint by numbers heel stuff, and that's fine if you blow it out of the park like the Miz. Like the Miz, kind of is a generic heel. He's a cocky heel, but he's so believable as it. Like you don't say that's a gimmick. You say that's actually the Miz. He's actually that asshole.
But here's the funny thing about The Miz, like with this feud going on with him and Dolph Ziggler right now, I actually feel like The Miz is the babyface in this feud because he's the
How
one.
do you feel like that?
Because he's the one who's more emotional and passionate and talking about how hard he's been working and
How
this
is
and that.
Dolph Ziggler not emotional? He's plenty.
Because we've seen this from Dolph Ziggler before.
No, the thing is, Lucas just doesn't buy it. Like,
Yeah,
Dolph
like-
Ziggler is emotional, but it's like, okay, whatever, dude.
Yeah,
I
what
buy
like
it.
same
He's
shit,
desperate.
same story. With The Miz, it's like I've never seen this out of
I don't
him.
recall
So
seeing that story before.
Dolph
We
Ziggler
have.
cuts promos like that all the guys.
yeah,
yes,
especially in
the promos,
2014,
yeah, the promo.
especially in 2014 against the Authority. Like, come on,
The
we've
promo,
seen enough
yeah,
of that.
but not the story. Like the story that Jay outlines in his videos about the loser Dolph Ziggler. Like that particular story, I don't remember seeing. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not
the story
wholly-
is definitely unique.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't like the redundancy. I feel like one cocky heel is enough for the show, and Miz does it way better, so I don't see the point.
I can understand that. So, any other thoughts on the situation with SmackDown and the titles?
It's been so much better than Raw. Like
They've
it's
just been hitting home runs every week.
It's been good, you know, and I actually think the IC
Yeah,
title
home
stuff
runs
is.
is, you know,
I mean, I don't know if it's
What-
quite that
triple?
great, but
Compared to Raw, it's a home run every week.
they're just much.
no, I don't like that though. I don't like that. I don't like grading on a curve. We could throw in some doubles and triples in there.
All right,
A
fine.
couple of ground rule doubles, you know.
Okay, so I guess I'll turn the floor over to Lucas now for this next topic that we're going to be discussing, because I don't know if we've talked too much about this on the show, but off the show for sure, Lucas has this vendetta against Paige, and at one of these days I'm gonna figure out what the hell is going on, because he doesn't like Paige at all, and I don't quite understand it, but it's entertaining to me.
I think that Lucas got cucked by Del Rio. That's what I think happened.
Okay, we all know in this room.
Lucas? Is that
We all
it?
know Paige is attractive, so that's definitely not it.
Okay, so Paige, she has been suspended for the second time by WWE for violation of the wellness policy. This time around, it's a 60-day suspension, and there was some some brouhaha that started on social media. Her family, they were jumping to her defense, and she was talking about there was some story out there about prescription. Her prescription wasn't. It was some kind of what's the word I'm looking for here? Processing error or something like that. Some administrative error that she shouldn't have been suspended, or at the very least, that's what she wants everyone else to believe. But WWE comes out and says that she wasn't suspended over prescription drugs, and this was in a statement to the New York Post. It says she's actually suspended for an illegal substance. And yeah, Lucas, take it away.
Paige is lying. She's a mess. She's going to keep lying, excuse after excuse. She got her boyfriend in trouble. Now her boyfriend is gone and he's off doing better things. And have you noticed the trend here? Somebody else, her partner, is doing better things. And what is she doing? Oh, yeah, that's right. She's still getting in trouble by WWE. No good.
Well, can I just go ahead and say that if he was probably in WWE still, shit, he'd be getting in trouble too. It's just, he's doing better things in places that don't have wellness policies, so...
Well, that's true when you put it like that. But Paige, I mean, she hasn't changed. She's still, she's still a little bad girl. Yeah, she's no bueno. So
the fact that she got suspended twice within the course of a couple of months is just awful.
It goes to show you what kind of fucking person she is. That's what it shows you.
Well, see, I think that the biggest thing with Paige has always been that she is immature, and I think that a lot of that plays into the fact that she's very young and got to a huge spot way younger than most people ever do. And she deserved to get to the spot because she's definitely a very talented girl. In fact, I remember when she was in NXT and everybody was saying that she was the next big thing in women's wrestling. She was going to be the revolution. And she ended up being not even a fraction of the revolution because all of that went to Charlotte and Sasha Banks and Bayley and Becky Lynch. Those four revolutionized what's going on right now, not her at all, really. I mean, I'm not saying she wasn't a precursor to it, but she certainly didn't play the major player role that everyone was originally expecting. She's a very talented girl, but I think a lot of her issue is just the immaturity, and now her association with Del Rio, I think, has just made her do things, make decisions, and make judgments that she may not have made otherwise. And again, that's part of growing up. That's part of realizing, okay, I made a mistake here. And again, you only usually get that one shot at the big time. So I hope that this second suspension not only wakes her up, but smacks her across the face a few times and gets her head rattled so she realizes, wait a minute, I really need to take this seriously because one more strike and I'm out of here.
I think she's doomed. She's doomed.
Yeah, because if you look at the reaction from her and her family to this news, and then take into account that it is a second suspension in such a short time, we could be looking at Paige possibly on the way out of the door.
Yep.
Kind of soon. So.
And let's say if she does come back, it's not like WWE is gonna be all nice to her. I mean, she's probably gonna be buried and punished for months, like Roman Reigns. So. Either way you look at it, Paige is pretty much doomed right now, and she has nobody to blame but herself. I mean, yes, I get the whole young excuse and this and that, but she was a disaster waiting to happen from the start of the year. You were hearing shit about her and, all these fights and speaking out and, being rebellious. So this was waiting to happen. This was something that we all should have seen coming.
Yeah, and I think she has a big ego, too. I think she
does.
Thinks she's hot shit. And I'm not saying she isn't hot shit when it comes to being actually talented, because she actually is really good. So her believing that she's really good isn't like some misconception here. It's not like she's Eva Marie and she thinks she's the best in the world, Like, she's actually very, very good. But I think part of what fed that ego issue was when she was judging the Tough Enough stuff last year.
You could really tell.
That was such a dumb idea to have her be one of the judges. She's like barely even experienced in the business herself, and here she is giving critiques to people who...
And she was hard on them.
Barely experienced in WWE, as you know.
Sure, but on the big scale... But again, everyone else who's on that panel has like 10 years of WWE experience. Or
and they were being respectful towards the competitors, while she's just like flipping her mouth off as if she's always been there for 10 years or something. It's like, whoa, take a step back.
It made entertaining TV, but I get what you guys are saying, definitely.
Yeah, but so did season 3 of NXT with the women's competition with Michael Cole's savage commentary. Yeah. So.
Okay, what do we have up next? SmackDown versus Raw. Apparently, it will be taking place at Survivor Series. There was a challenge that was waged on behalf of the power structure over on the Blue brand. Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan, they issued the challenge to Stephanie and Mick Foley over on Raw to this 5-on-5 male superstars, the best on SmackDown versus the best on Raw. Same thing for the female superstars, and then also a 5-on-5 tag team elimination match. And I don't know if I read that or heard that incorrectly, but is it like a... What is it?
20-man tag?
Yeah, 20-man tag. Is that what it's going to be?
Wait.
Damn.
What's going to be a 20-man tag?
They said a 5-on-5 tag team elimination match.
How is that 20-man? What?
Well, it's five teams with
5 teams on 5 teams split up, 2 people per team, 10 over here, 10 over there.
Oh my God.
I don't know if that's true, but Let me just say this.
That's
whole
what
thing
it
is
sounded
stupid.
like, but
I'm so not excited to see a bunch of guys who just were on the same brand like 5 months ago come back together. Like this
is bragging rights all over again. That's what this is.
yeah, but at
that's
least
what it
bragging
is.
rights the brands were
Yeah, at
separate
least you got a
for a
trophy.
while, right? At least
Yeah.
at least on bragging rights you saw guys.
Actually,
who
no.
didn't interact much.
Wasn't that towards the end of the death of the brand split anyway?
Yes,
I don't
So
remember.
yeah, it was.
it was.
Well, there were several bragging rights.
There
but-
was like 2 or 3 of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
there
it
was only like
it
2.
It was within the last couple years.
Well, either way, the notion that there's some sort of brand war is just so forced. I don't.
This is
buy it.
ridiculous.
This is like
And
this feeds into that narrative of like when Mark Henry was wearing the Raw shirt, like what we talked about before.
Don't
Like,
have them wearing the shirts during the matches, please.
If they do that,
they're gonna do that. They're gonna do that. Yeah, Team Blue, baby. Yeah.
yeah, I don't care. And this is going to be a throwaway pay-per-view too, because I mean, what are we not going to get title matches? I mean, who
That's what this
cares about
sounds like.
these-
Yep.
Who cares about these tag matches? There's nothing on the line.
It's meaningless. It's a filler show. That's what Survivor Series is gonna be
sounds
this year.
like it. I mean, it might be a fun show, but I'm guessing it'll be entertaining, but still, it just seems like a glorified house show in that case. I mean,
And
Yeah, and they're talking about how this is going to be historic and monumental. Like, to me, this is nothing new. I mean, they've done this for the last, 15 Survivor Series or so? Like,
And this is exactly why 2014 Survivor Series was a rarity, because it was so awesome, because that traditional Survivor Series match had something on the freaking line. It wasn't just because Sting came out. It was because that match was actually worth something. The Authority's gone. If, this team wins, if Team Authority wins, they stay. Like, something was on the line.
yeah, of course, that all got reversed when Seth said,
I
"Bring
know.
back the Authority, John."
I I'd like to forget about that. So let's just enjoy the
Rollins
one
is
moment.
always a bad memory.
Survivor Series is one moment of glory in the last 5 to 10 years, which is scary. But
Yeah, that was back when Dolph Ziggler single-handedly eliminated the Authority. Yeah, with
Yeah,
Oh, he was
Ziggler-
playing
Ziggler
the
was
role
the
of
big
Roman
deal.
Reigns that day.
he beat. I mean, I'll never forget. He pinned Orton off a super kick, like straight up.
Though that never would have happened if Roman Reigns didn't get hurt. So
Yeah, still a good moment for Ziggler. But anyway, I'm just gonna say that like Survivor Series needs to mean something, and having a traditional bland SmackDown versus Raw match that we've seen many times over the last years when the brand split existed the first time. It's very cookie cutter. We talk about typical. We talk about stuff that, oh god, this is just so the usual BS. That's exactly what this will be if that's what they do. It's completely playing into the same old, and I'm tired of that. I want Survivor Series to mean something. We can't call it a Big Four pay-per-view anymore if like this is the best that they can give us is just SmackDown versus Raw. And like Steven said, guys who were just on the same brand 4 or 5 months back.
And it's not only about that. It's also the fact that, okay, if you are going to do this, at least make both shows exciting and give us a reason to want to see the competition. But we all know that hasn't been the case with Monday Night Raw. So for me, anybody on that show is automatically unwatchable. Now they got to do some series building up from now until Survivor Series to make me consider even thinking about watching Raw and seeing how this all plays out.
What else do we have? Speaking of Raw and trying to make the show watchable, Goldberg will be on the show next week to respond to
boy.
Paul Heyman's challenge. And this challenge was made on behalf of Brock Lesnar. The story that's being told on screen is that that's the one blemish on Brock Lesnar's record, and he wants to redeem himself by facing Goldberg. But the story off screen is that WWE has a video game to promote. SmackDown, or I was about to say SmackDown vs. Raw 2017. It's WWE 2K17. And
You're next.
What are you guys thinking about the return of Goldberg?
I don't care.
You know what's funny is I remember for a long time wanting Goldberg to be back, and then this is how they've done it, and they took any excitement that I would have had, and I kind of had lost the desire to see Goldberg for the last couple of years, because what I wanted was something as simple as just a Royal Rumble appearance, or like, hey, I just want to see Goldberg again. That'd be cool.
A surprise.
Yeah, something, oh wow, cool, he appeared in the Royal Rumble, you get a huge pop, it'd be a cool moment, but this is anything but exciting, because now you already know that he's coming back now for Raw, and you know what he's going to say in the challenge. It's like, I don't need to watch that segment to know he's going to say yes, and then it's going to set up
there's a
Lesnar.
chance he could say no. Wouldn't that be funny?
And see, now that would be great. I'd actually like it if he came all the way, all the stuff, the elusive entrance and everything. He comes down with the security, all that stuff, dun, comes up all the way to Heyman, no, and then walks away. You know what? That would be gold. That would be gold.
Or what if Brock Lesnar just, after Goldberg says no, he just F5s him and we're done with this whole thing, and then that's all. This was just one big night, and that's it.
And see, I can literally come up with a more compelling way for Goldberg to come back, even though it still wouldn't excite me that much, because I don't want to see Goldberg versus Lesnar, one of my least favorite matches of all time. Horrifying. But
which had to happen in New York, of all places.
Yes, but that show was good. Just that was a huge blemish on it. This is already a better segment. You have Heyman and Lesnar out there, because Lesnar, they always have him come out and jump around and carry some stairs and look tough. And so they're out there, and then Heyman, they're just saying that Lesnar is unstoppable. There is nothing that will ever, it's pretty cookie cutter. They cut that promo all the time. But then Goldberg comes out and spears the crap out of Lesnar and, just says, "You're next," or whatever. That is already a more exciting return, because you didn't see it coming. Like, it's like, whoa, here it is. Here he is. Wow. Instead, you had it announced to you. You get it pushed in front of your face. It reminds me of Batista's return a couple years back. Any excitement that you were going to have about Batista being back was eliminated, because they just announced it straight away. Like, what happened to the surprise returns? That is something that is hugely missing from WWE the last few years, and this could have been a cool return, because it's been so many years. Yes.
There you
Spirit motherfucking Squad.
I marked out for the Spirit Squad.
See, the problem with this whole Goldberg thing, they've made it a bigger deal than it should be. Goldberg is not The Rock. He's not Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's not Hulk Hogan. So for them to announce that he's coming back, it's not supposed to be this big deal.
I mean, come on, man. He was the equivalent of those guys.
No, he wasn't.
WCW
Are you being
side.
sarcastic?
No, he was one of the big guys in WCW. I mean,
but that's WCW. We're not talking about WCW.
I know, but he's a pretty big name. You can't
No, not anymore. All right, ask a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old who the hell Goldberg is.
Well,
and
why would he expect a 5-year-old to know?
Well, hell, they know who The Rock is. They know who Hulk Hogan is, and that's what I'm trying to talk about. The household name.
Unfortunately, they know who Hulk Hogan is. Yeah.
Brother.
Not for his wrestling career anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Goldberg, I don't know what he can do at this.
Nothing. The only thing he's going to do is come in and lose to Lesnar. And if Lesnar
and it benefits him.
And if Lesnar loses to him, it makes absolutely no sense. Why would
he's not going to?
Yeah, this benefits nobody, because Brock beats Goldberg. Woohoo! You want a cookie? You beat a man that's older than you and not in his prime anymore.
You know what? I would have liked to see these two in a tag team match, a Survivor Series, like Team Goldberg versus Team Lesnar. At least that way, you could play to Goldberg's strengths. You could give him a few spots. And also, you could have Brock interact with some people that are not his normal opponents. Like maybe you have Sami Zayn on Team Goldberg's team. You see Sami Zayn going up against Brock. That'd be cool. I mean, I think that'd be a cooler idea.
Different combinations for Lesnar.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what this is gonna be. It seems like it's gonna be a shitty match. I don't know if it could be as bad as the last one, but
I'll already say right now that if there was, and again, I don't believe that they would ever have Goldberg actually go over, but I'm just saying if they ever actually did go that far and do that, it would be so freaking ass backwards, because Lesnar is like, he's this like entity in WWE right now. He's above and beyond all. We all know this. So when he loses, it needs to be against somebody who is like on the verge of becoming a star, or has been gaining momentum, and then boom, they get that big win over Brock Lesnar. Not a 50-year-old Goldberg. It's like, again, like I said, him coming back, Royal Rumble spot, even for a few matches is fine, but I just don't think him versus Lesnar is what I even want anyway, because The only memories I have of him versus Lesnar is one of the worst matches I've ever seen in my entire life. And that is not just, I'm not just saying that. It is one of the worst matches I've ever seen in my life.
The only
we all prefer for him to come back against Braun Strowman, like in all seriousness.
Oh my God, no!
I'm not
Goldberg?
kidding. Yeah, Goldberg.
I
Like
would-
imagine Braun's giving his promo. He's like, Foley, who's next? And then Goldberg comes. That'd be a mark out moment.
If you replace the name Braun Strowman with Ryback, I'll say yes. But if he's not
What does have to
Ryback,
do with this?
See, I think, well, Braun Strowman, I mean, like him and Goldberg would be a big match for him, and obviously he would go over, and that'd be like the biggest win of Strowman's career. I mean, Strowman's character is like wanting better and better competition. So I mean, if Goldberg just came out, it would be like, what the hell? So I mean, I get what you're saying. Like in terms of like him wanting better opponents, I mean, that's a hell of a step up from a couple of local jobbers or Sin Cara or whatever.
I mean, that'd
Well,
be
yeah,
a cool
for-
moment, is all I'm saying. This
for
is like,
shock value, yeah. But then when you realize what this is and it's an actual match, it's like, yeah.
No, yeah, but it would be a squash match, is what I'm saying.
But the only good I can take out of all of this is the fact that it looks like this is going to happen very soon, and it's not something that is going to drag on until next year for WrestleMania. So please do this by the end of the year.
They have other
Get
plans
this
for
over
Brock
with.
Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Yeah, so get this over with. And if you want to do it at the Royal Rumble, fine. Or hell, if you even want to do it at Survivor Series, fine. But please, by next year, when it's the road to WrestleMania, don't let us be talking about Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg still.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about Brock Lesnar versus Shane McMahon.
Oh Lord.
Oh, I forgot about
Are
that.
you guys not excited to see that? I think that's a
Hell
cool match.
no.
After
No.
after Shane versus Undertaker and the boringness of that.
Oh,
match,
yeah.
Other
Wait,
than
what
one
are you
spot,
guys talking about?
all set.
That was a decent match.
No, that
I
wasn't.
hated that match.
All you remember from that match is the jump. That's it.
That's
I
all
remember it being pretty intense. Like, it wasn't a good match, but it was definitely.
Oh,
a
Steven,
spectacle.
come on, man. That was a fucking shitty match.
It sucks. It really did.
Look, I think Brock versus Shane's gonna be good. I don't care what you say.
Well, I think Brock versus Shane will
I
be.
don't care if it's going to be good or not. I don't want to see it.
I think it'll be better than Shane versus Taker, but that's not saying much.
Yeah.
It'll be cool. Trust
Well,
me.
I'm just saying, if Lesnar could crush John Cena
I know I won't.
and Randy Orton,
Steven.
like, for what reason would I
Yeah.
ever believe that Shane McMahon?
That's true.
That's
now that I think
Stone
about
Cold
it.
Shane McMahon, don't you know? Did you see? You remember that segment he did when they were building up towards a match with him and the Undertaker, and he took out like 4 security guards. Yeah.
Oh yeah, with those great punches, right?
Yeah.
Those awesome punches.
Squirrel punches.
Yeah, those little tiny things where he was like, "I'm gonna take you all out at once."
Why are you guys all hating on Shane McMahon? all
We're
of a
not
sudden?
hating on Shane McMahon. We just hate this idea that he has to fight.
We're accurately assessing the situation. Is
Yeah.
Shane
He's
has
cool,
Shane McMahon
honestly.
He's
back
not
in
a
the
fighter.
WWE.
Yeah, he's cool if he's an authority role, but he's not cool if he's doing this. And
He's always been cool in matches, always.
before, not now.
Yeah, well, you can't judge by one match, which I thought wasn't even that bad.
Who's
The
that?
point is, he still takes the crazy bumps. That is all you need with Shane. Okay?
So you want to see him die? Is that wow, Steven? That's very harsh of you, man.
Well, he's not gonna die because he's Shane.
But he's old.
He's not that old.
He has gray hair.
See,
I'm
I
just
like.
over these Brock Lesnar exhibition matches.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
care.
getting.
Yeah,
but-
give us
but
I'm
give
over
us
Brock Lesnar, to be quite honest.
give us the meaningful match with Brock Lesnar. Like, weren't we talking about after SummerSlam, me, you, and Evan, about how
About
Brock
him moving in the
Lesnar?
world championship.
Yeah,
scene.
yeah. What happened to that talk? I mean, what is this? Goldberg? Are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, it just seems like a placeholder type of match. It's just like, oh, it's happening, so that way we get people to buy Survivor Series.
That's what
Hopefully-
all Brock's matches are.
And hopefully that is what it is.
It's a
Survivor
scam.
Series.
I
Because
realized.
I don't want to wait until WrestleMania. They better not keep us waiting
Yeah.
that long, because that is horrifying.
I've realized.
It'll happen at Survivor Series.
I've realized every Brock Lesnar match has now become a scam by WWE to give us, this excitement for a match. Then it just turns out to be a 5-minute little squash match with Brock Lesnar kicking
What do you
somebody's
mean it's
ass.
a scam?
It's a scam.
It is a scam. It is a scam.
It's a scam.
They get me excited about Brock.
Yeah.
And, me being the type of person that I am, hoping that it actually goes somewhere, because it's very weird for me to sit back and watch them call Brock Lesnar a badass all the time and talk about how awesome he is and continue to dig this trench that divides him from the rest of the roster. And I look at it and, well, if he's so good, if he's such a badass, if he's so legit, why doesn't he have the title?
Right.
Does Brock Lesnar not care about the title? And if he doesn't, why
is he there?
should I?
Yeah, but how do you solve that?
How do you solve
Give him
what?
the fucking title or give him walking papers, one or the other. Because
if he blows shit up.
This exhibition match bullshit, I don't care about it.
But then you're committed to Brock being the champion forever because...
No, somebody has to take it off of him. That's the point. And if somebody does take it off of him, that means that the torch was passed. Brock Lesnar is no more. The champion becomes legitimized. I mean, that's the discussion we were having a few months ago, right? That if Brock Lesnar does become the king of the WWE, somebody's going to have to dethrone that motherfucker off of it, right?
Yeah, but who is...
I'm over the Brock Lesnar experiment.
There's nobody on the horizon.
Well, there was Roman Reigns until WWE fucked that up.
Do something about it.
We
can't make these statements as if the power is not in WWE's hands to do something about that.
And
to be honest, I can't even think of anyone who I could see the potential in to be.
Roman Reigns had the fucking potential, but
yeah, Roman Reigns.
I was thinking of another Samoan.
Samoa Joe, yeah.
But Samoa Joe is established. I'm not. I mean, he's a badass and all, but.
At least he has a potential to be there every goddamn week.
And he's the kind of guy who needs like a big career moment, and that would be a humongous career moment
right.
for him.
I wouldn't give it to Samoa Joe. I think that'd be a bad move, but I mean, I wouldn't. I would
give it to James Ellsworth for all the fucking. Somebody beat
James Ellsworth is gonna hit a sliced bread on Brock Lesnar and roll him up for the 3 count. It's over already.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done with this topic.
Ellsworth. With the cover and the 3 count.
He beat AJ Styles.
I'm out.
Him and Lesnar, my money's all on Ellsworth. All of it. Every penny. Ever. All of it. All of it. All
yeah, Brock is just going to lay down there like, you know what? I'm doing it for the money. Pin me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could go with that. That's how over Brock Lesnar I am at this point. I could definitely go for that. Okay, what do we have up next? The Wyatt family, they got another big win on SmackDown. They defeated Randy Orton and Kane, and this is after Bray Wyatt defeated Randy Orton at No Mercy due to a distraction from the returning Luke Harper. I've not been too impressed by what's going on with Bray Wyatt lately, but
when are we impressed?
You guys, you want to know when I was impressed? I was impressed watching Talking Smack last night because they cut a promo. And, Luke Harper, he was good in his promo. He threw some shade at Daniel Bryan's baby, called it a stupid baby.
What?
He talked about the Talking Smack that they had after No Mercy, how they didn't really put a focus on him returning to WWE because they spent time talking about Daniel Bryan's stupid baby. And he said if people aren't going to talk about the Wyatt family, they're going to make them talk about them. And that was good. That was a good promo. But the part that I was most impressed by was that they shit all over Eric Rowan. I don't know if anybody else got that, but they kept saying this. They said this incarnation of the Wyatt family. It's time to start taking us seriously. Now we are whole, and I'm sitting there like, man, Eric Rowan is sitting at home
is a
like,
martyr,
what did
man.
I do?
He had to take a step back to put Harper over. That's just the kind of man he is.
That was like that scene from The Wire with Wallace and
don't spoil
Wallace
The Wire
and
for
Bodie.
me.
He just they turned on him, man.
This incarnation of the Wyatt family still includes Eric Rowan. He's just on the sideline. He's got his crutches.
He's cheerleader
cheering
now.
him on. Yes,
with his
pom-poms. His pom-poms are made of goat masks, but still,
he's immortal. He will never die.
I don't even think Eric Rowan is injured. I just think he faked the whole thing to let Harper come back.
Yeah. He grabbed at his leg and was just like, 6 months, man, sorry. And then he was like, come on, Luke, we need you. Luke, come on, Luke. And then Luke comes back, and
they
then
said to Rowan, "You're the glue that holds this company together. You are the foundation. Not
Yeah.
Ambrose. It's Eric Rowan. He's here every single night. Except for
Absolutely.
That's not
Day
what I
in,
heard.
day out.
Ain't
He's
what I heard.
unselfish. He's so
the guy-
unselfish.
the
that
guy
guy.
They
delivers-
said now that we got rid of this dude, we can finally be taken seriously. And he earned some points. for
Let me
that
just
this
say
week.
though, Harper is a fucking badass. Like he just
He is.
looks cool as fuck, man.
Yeah, but he's associated with somebody that's, pretty much dry.
Yeah, dude, they killed.
He's
Bray
more
Wyatt.
exciting than the main act, which
Yeah.
is supposed to be Bray Wyatt. He's
So
he's the best part.
Yeah, until they separate Bray Wyatt from Luke Harper,
I don't
I
want
can't
them
take-
to separate them.
I
think-
want them to separate.
I think Luke Harper should just have a more prominent role. I
Like I
think
said-
Luke Harper should be the main guy, but I think Bray should be his manager. How about that for a little bit?
I'd be okay
That
with
works.
it because you can have Bray Wyatt be this psychological warfare character that he always is, and then have Luke Harper do the in-ring stuff, which is he's the best at anyway. And then Bray Wyatt can kind of manipulate Harper. They could do a whole story there where basically he's using Harper to get to where he wants to be, which is like a title picture or something, and then he screws Harper out of it, and then he ends up champion or something like that. Or they could do
That
a
would be
whole
great,
narrative
actually.
there.
That'd be interesting.
Holy shit, that's a good idea, man.
Like they could really do that. And come on, writers, you take my awful ideas and put them on TV. Now take my good. See, when I say, oh man, I hope they don't do that, they're like, ooh, I watched PWF this week. I'm gonna put that on the show. And then when we come up with something creative or genuine, they're like, oh god, no, we're gonna rip that up. Come on.
Well, Vince McMahon rips it up, not the creative
That's
team,
true,
because
that's true.
Well, I've been
Yep.
seeing some things straight from the mind of Jay on SmackDown, so that's good. This whole thing that's going on with Dolph Ziggler.
What is that?
Oh, the
Dolph
disgruntled
Ziggler stuff.
employee stuff?
The disgruntled uppity jobber Dolph Ziggler. Well, I didn't come up with that. I just interpreted it based off of what.
And now they're doing it, yeah.
I was one of the founding fathers of the.
Well, hell, he
then
put
you
his
admit
job
that
on the
I was
line.
right at the time, because I was
Wait,
the one
what?
saying you were reading into it, and now you're saying that you were reading into it, and it only became that after you proposed it.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not saying they took my idea and put it on TV. That was always the idea. It's just that it was subtle at first, and only some of us had the ability to pick up off of it so early on. So.
And they went ahead and still did it because, he put his job on the line, so...
And it made for a really cool moment, so good
It
story.
did.
Good stuff.
But
Some
his
cool
5 minutes of
moments.
fame are going to be done soon.
I kind
Something
of
that I
wish
noticed
that.
about Dolph Ziggler that was very interesting, the fact that they were going really hard with that whole show off and show stealer thing once again, and JBL's old over the top ass. Dolph Ziggler proved at No Mercy that he was everything that he ever said he was. And I'm just wondering, like, after all that you did to get Dolph Ziggler out of the rut that he was in, you would think that now would be the time to evolve that character into something different. Because I'm sitting here and I'm wondering, okay, when Dolph Ziggler eventually loses the Intercontinental Championship, because he will, who is he going to be the night after? Who is he going to be 2 weeks after that? Does he then fall back to the whole showstopper and show stealer type thing? So, yeah, that's just, like, I'm going to be really attentively watching.
That's what I'm
Dolph
talking
Ziggler,
about.
Who he is over these next few weeks.
Yeah, it's always the same pattern with him.
See, and that's a problem too, because like you run into an awesome story that culminates with him keeping his job and doing, but now what? Like that is a problem with certain things. Sometimes the chase to the moment is actually better than the aftermath. Is a lot better than the aftermath of it, and we've seen that before with championship runs. Like a guy that we want to see win the title, his journey to get there is amazing. The moment he wins it is amazing, and then everything after that is just the opposite. So we'll see if Dolph Ziggler goes down that path again. I mean, I have no expectations for Ziggler ever again. So basically, at this point, whatever they
I've
give me,
learned my lesson.
yeah, I already learned that lesson. The same thing goes for like the Wyatt family. I don't have expectations anymore. I don't sit there and say, oh, maybe they're gonna build them up. Why would I think that anymore? After 3 years, them telling me for the last 3 years, we're not doing anything with these guys.
No, Vince already thinks that Bray Wyatt is established.
Well, Vince McMahon is on drugs, my friend.
I remember
See, that's
reading
why
that.
they're getting all of this time on SmackDown. This
I forgot
feud
who
with him
said
and,
that. I think it
Randy
was one of the
Orton.
Reddit insiders who gave a Q&A, and he said that Vince is convinced that Bray Wyatt is already the next Undertaker. The job is done.
God.
That's what happened.
Oh, God.
Okay.
All right, Vince McMahon.
All right. We'll see how that works out for you. Anything else before we head off air?
I thought we were going to talk about how awful Monday Night Raw is.
Oh, well,
did.
You have like 2 minutes to do it. So.
Well, is Raw even worthy of it? I don't know.
Number 1, it sucks. Number 2, it sucks. Number 3, I fell asleep 2 weeks.
Hey,
in a
come
row.
on! Kevin Owens and Jericho are funny, and they make it worth
Yes.
watching. I don't care.
They're the best piece going. I think Jericho right now is hitting his stride.
You know what? You know what, Lucas? You just made the list.
Yeah.
I made the list.
Monday Night Raw made the list.
Oh yeah, but
the
he
whole
can't
show.
put it on the list because he's part of
That's probably the entire list. He just keeps writing over and over again. This fucking show. This fucking.
it. But seriously though, Monday Night Raw needs a huge shakeup. Cut the 3 hours because I really feel like the 3 hours is the main issue here. Like it's just too overbearing for me to sit through 3 hours of nonsense. I could put up with 2 hours, but I can't with the third hour. I just can't anymore. The endings suck. The endings used to be the best part about Monday Night Raw. Now the ending is like, bye-bye. That's all it is now. So it's like...
What's hard to believe is that this Cruiserweight division is here, and that's supposed to be the thing that, like, gets me and keeps me watching, and it's not doing it because it's only that one part of the whole show. It's only, 20 total minutes of the show, maybe 30. And so, I love the Cruiserweight division. I've loved what they've done with it so far. But it's hard when the rest of the show is, like, really difficult to sit through. There's still a lot of jobber matches. There's still a lot of pointless matches that don't mean much of anything. Raw feels exactly as it did before the brand split. SmackDown is a whole different show. Unbelievable.
And the other thing about Raw, I've realized they don't have much depth when it comes to main event superstars, like the competition. You see on SmackDown, it's stacked with main event stars. And when I remember we were talking about the war between SmackDown and Raw at the very beginning after the draft, we were like, oh, well, SmackDown is not that good because it already has established stars. Yeah, well, look now. I mean, John Cena, Orton, they've definitely brought a lot of prestige to SmackDown. AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose. Yeah, but Monday Night Raw, I mean, they pretty much just have Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and recently Kevin Owens. But hell, we can't even put Kevin Owens in that list yet because he's not fully to that level as of yet, even though he's the Universal Champion. So I just think that right now, Monday Night Raw, they need more stars. Like, I'm sick of Seth Rollins, man. He's been shoved down our throats for far too long. And Roman Reigns, I don't hate the guy. I've always defended him, but I don't think he would be the answer either anymore. So there needs to be a drastic change that comes to Monday Night Raw very soon.
It's going to happen all next week. Goldberg, he's going to solve every
problems.
Yeah, who's next?
Alrighty, guys, that's it for PWF Empire Live. Thank you all for tuning in. We will catch you later. Peace.